This video has been a bit overdue, but I really do need to rip the band-aid on it and just kind of explain things a little bit. Uh, if you haven't noticed at this point that I've not been very active anywhere, very present anywhere, it's a large part of why I'm making this video. And you probably will see by the title on here. But yeah, as of a few weeks ago, I have made the decision to step away from content creation, from social media, just really needing to focus on myself, on my mental health, and on some behavioral aspects about myself that really needed to be addressed. It was not an easy decision, but it was something that I've been putting off for a really long time. I've always been a fan of content creation, of let's plays, of creative endeavors, people's ability to create art out of these things. I've always wanted to be a part of that. And I always felt at home doing all of that. But I've also been using it as a bit of an excuse to not really get the help that I need to do, because I prioritized doing stuff for my content creation over other things. I've used it to keep myself from doing the work that I've needed to do because I really wanted to get this content creation done. And it was one of those cases where, I could never fully commit to doing it full time. But I also would take away from things that I should be doing full time for doing this. And it was irresponsible in that sense. So, for the time being, I decided, and it sucks too, because at the end of the year, I did rebrand from Marjo Sonic to Major Icon Studio, and I was excited over the prospects of what that could entail, of having a name that's a little bit more searchable, having the editing services come in as part of that to kind of reinvigorate an older passion of mine. But I could either keep putting little band-aids on the thing to just block the issues, or I can actually crack down on what I'm supposed to do. And that also ties into social media, because among a number of things, I've been using as a crutch to not deal with myself, to just escape from realities in my life. And just feed into unhealthy habits. And I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of constantly doing things that make me feel worse about myself, and then in turn sometimes speak to certain people in a way that they don't deserve. And I know that for some people that's going to sound very odd. They probably don't see me as the kind of person who would speak negatively up to people, and I generally don't. I like to think that I don't, at least, but I also know that I have. I have said things that hurt people. And I've spoken very arrogantly, very full of myself. Just saying things that I'm so sure that I'm right, that why do I need to present myself in any other way? So, time away is hopefully what I'm going to need. A lot of this, like, a lot of things like this, or things that I was speaking about with a therapist in a lot of parts of 2024. But unfortunately, I um, I wasn't able to continue due to a visit to the ER that I had to do, and yeah, it kept me from being able to continue payments on my on this therapist. In the coming months, I should be able to. My benefits should be good enough again to receive that specific help. But from the session we had together, he had already been telling me that I needed to step away to completely reset everything. It was going so far as to just swap out using a smartphone to using a much more basic phone, and unfortunately, it was never really an option for me because both for the job that I do and for content creation, I couldn't be without a smartphone. So I just made do with what I had, but I also did very little to change my present situation. So yeah, it's not a full goodbye per se. At least not in every aspect of it. I had to wrestle a lot with what I wanted to do with all of my profiles. I am making the decision that at least I'm going to keep X and Blue Sky open for 2 weeks from when this video gets posted, and afterwards I will deactivate both of them. I'll probably rename them to something unusable and then go for deactivating them. That way, if I ever do return in any way, shape, or form, uh, I would be able to reclaim those. I would potentially be able to reclaim those names. But if I lose them, it's whatever. I'll figure it out. Uh, the real thing was asking myself, what am I going to do with regards to Twitch and to YouTube? And in both cases, I had to debate whether or not I wanted to revert the rebrand, if I wanted to deactivate any of them, and I ultimately decided that I'm not going to do that. I would leave them alone. So I'm absolutely not going to be touching Twitch in any capacity. I'm not even going to be using it like to be actively watching streams for the foreseeable future, just because I need time to be able to truly focus. And with Twitch being a far more interactive platform, it's a lot harder for me to be able to be focused on things that I need to do. So I do need to step away from that. YouTube, I will be using a little more frequently, but what I'm going to do is I'm in the process of transferring uh, the brand channel over to its correct email address, because right now it's using a temporary YouTube one. So hopefully once it's fully transferred, I can simply cut off notifications and let that channel just stand alone and not really pay attention to it. And if I use YouTube for my own personal reasons, I can just use my personal account and just you go from there. Yeah. Any other website, any other profiles that I have, I still making decisions. I'll either be fully deactivating them or simply just logging out and not touching the accounts. So it'll certainly be a case of me kind of disappearing off the face of the earth for I don't even know how long. But it's one of those things where if I don't do it, if I don't do it to this extreme, I'm not gonna see a change in myself, and I'm just gonna keep perpetuating this negative cycle that I cannot, I can't keep living by. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. If you actually sat here and listened to the whole thing, thank you for your support in whichever way you've ever supported. It really does. It does mean quite a bit to me. If you're wondering, like, am I absolutely abandoning content creation wholesale? I don't know, because even if within the time that I need to be away, I feel like I'm in a better mindset, better state of mind. I know that my life is going to be going in all sorts of different directions. My wife, I talked about this with my wife too, like, because she was always wanting me to be able to explore my passions as well. She wanted me to be able to do the Twitch streams, do the video edits, just be able to express myself in that way, since she knows that's something I'm passionate about. But I also have a responsibility to her and to my family, and we have plans to expand our family at some point in the future. So it was already tricky trying to navigate that with one baby daughter. I don't know what it would look like, and if and when we have a second kid. So it might be a very very long time before I return. Like, even if well before we even know, like, we're gonna have another kid, that I decided that I was gonna start returning to other platforms, I probably would still stay away from streaming until way into the future, until things are a little more settled, where I can make proper timing, proper space for things. But yeah, for whatever, for the time that it was fun. Um, but yeah, so if anyone ever wants to get in touch with me, at the very least, I am still keeping the email account that's associated to the brand uh, open. So Major Icon Studio at Gmail. If you ever want to reach out just to see how I'm doing, you're more than welcome to ping me on there. But yeah, until until I can see things getting better. I'll see you all later.